And Ryan Tannehill is essentially Andy Dalton with a little better mobility. In his career, he's completed 63%. His passer rating's like 89-90. His touchdown-interception ratio's a little under 2-1, and he's 500 in his career. So the question, of course, who do you want to see in the Super Bowl? The Kansas City Chiefs or Andy Dalton? I think the answer is obvious. It's obvious to Fox. We'd like to see Mahomes in there. We would. I'm not lying. So would America. So would the NFL. And so would my eyes. Andy Dalton hurts my eyes. Ryan Tannehill, not great for my eyes. I say that as the son of an optometrist. If you really look at what Kansas City is what the NFL wants the league to look like. Leagues and commissioners will tell you regularly, without saying it verbally, here's what I want my league to be. They'll change rules to help stars, to help faster players, to help quarterbacks. That's why leagues change rules. Why did they put the catch rule back in? Because your best athletes are wide receivers. Why are you taking away catches from OBJ? Give him more great catches. So the league is telling you, we want you to look like Kansas City. We want you to be able to be down 24-0, and it doesn't matter. We want the games to be close. It's why quietly the league is sort of, putting their arms a little bit around the gambling thing, because you'll watch longer, and the league is now building all of its rules. You can't hit a wide receiver high. Why? Because that's the best athletes. We want more wide receivers. You can't hit a quarterback low. Why? Because we want the best quarterbacks healthy. So you can't hit that position low. You can't hit that position high, and we don't like to hit neither position often. The Chiefs are the Avengers. Tennessee is an artsy film that purists like. The league wants Kansas City to be the next dynasty, or something that looks like Kansas City. Clever schemes, traditional powerhouse, Kansas City, Arrowhead, great fans, fastest show on turf. Get in the Monday Night Football game against the Rams, and people talk about it for months. This is what the league is trying to do by changing its rules. Speed on the outside, big arm in the pocket, likable, relatable kid who can walk into, and this is something else, that the NFL likes college concepts coming to the NFL. Why? Because what the NFL doesn't like is quarterbacks coming from college, and half of them are busts. So the NFL is incorporating more college football as often as they can. These are why David Tepper, the owner of Carolina, is like, come on, Baylor football, come on. They're doing this so fewer teams have busts. More teams are dynamic and vibrant on offense. The Chiefs are what the league wants it to look like. It really is. Now, I will say this. The NBA would love for everybody to look like the Warriors. The problem, of course, is they had 4 players, maybe 3, who are the best three-point shooters of all time. So you get a lot of teams that are trying to be the Warriors, but instead it's Clank City from three-point land. But the NFL, it's funny. I was all weekend long, I was emailing a billionaire, an NBA owner. He's a very smart person, and I like him. And I occasionally get the opportunity to email and talk to this person. And we were arguing back and forth a little bit about some things about the NBA and the NFL. He's obviously an NBA owner, and he's very pro-NBA. And I like the NBA, but I said, I think you have some issues. The kids are more into themselves and not the community and the team, and the mobility sometimes hurt. But we were talking about the NFL, and one of the things I was thinking about when I got off the email was the NFL ratings have been going up for most of the last 10 years, and they've done that with a dynasty that is smart and precise and efficient and mostly boring. I mean, I lived in Connecticut, so I was into the Patriots, and I love Brady. But that's the San Antonio Spurs. We draft, we're efficient. We have 1 star. He's never controversial. His game's not flashy. And yet the NFL grew. Can you imagine if Kansas City's the next dynasty? I get to watch that. So I was thinking about this as I was talking to the NBA owner, is for anybody that thinks football's in trouble, we have had sustained growth in football in this country with a rather boring, cerebral, academic, precise, efficient dynasty in New England. How about this for the next 10 years? How about Mahomes? How about Tyreek Hill? How about Travis Kelce? How about Andy Reid? This weekend, this is the Warriors. By the way, the Warriors imploded. The dynasty imploded this year. The NBA ratings have tanked. They were the most fun to watch. They were the greatest basketball show in the world. They imploded, hurt, KD leaves. What's happened to the NBA ratings? Kansas City is jet fuel for this league. By the way, the downside is there's a lot of pressure on Kansas City. Because when you are the Warriors, we want titles. And as somebody from Kansas City told us yesterday, they better win this weekend.
If they lose, it's crushing. It is, the season becomes a failure. Patrick Mahomes is playing for $35 million less right now than he will be making in future seasons. So you must take advantage of this opportunity. Last year, they were a coin flip in overtime against the Patriots away from going to, and I believe, winning the Super Bowl. If you didn't take advantage of that, if you then lose to the Titans, then that is an enormous missed opportunity. You don't get those years back.
Let me shift to this. San Francisco, Green Bay, and Jimmy Garoppolo. So I was, the other day, my family was making fun of me. I have an iPhone. It's not with me. And I don't know what it is, an iPhone 5 or something, iPhone 6. I think it's an iPhone 6. And the kids in the family were making fun of Dad. Oh, it's so outdated. I'm like, it's not a flip phone. It's like an iPhone 6. And they're like, it doesn't do this and it doesn't do that. And I'm like, I got an alarm clock. I got a calendar. I can make calls. I can get on the internet. I can take calls, and I can follow like stocks, and I can follow people. I could get to any social site I need to, like Twitter. I can get to my Instagram. I'm like, remember the days when that was enough from your phone? You could make a call and take a call. You could go to Twitter. You could follow your stocks, your 401k. You had a calendar. You had an alarm clock. Remember the good old days when that was enough? I'm like, I don't need it to make a bagel or wash my clothes or dry clean stuff. I'm good. I'm fine. Remember the days in football when if you were a starting quarterback and in your first 26 starts, you were 21-5 and got to the conference championship. Remember the days when that was enough? That's Jimmy Garoppolo, and half of you don't like him. Fantasy football has skewed our perception on what a good quarterback is. Jameis Winston is a good fantasy football quarterback. Daniel Jones on many weekends this year was better than Jimmy Garoppolo in fantasy football. Josh Allen, because he runs, is way better. What do you want from Jimmy Garoppolo? 21-5 in the conference championship. Colin, it's his coach. Yes, he's got a good coach. I'll wait and listen for the great quarterbacks, Marino and Elway and Brady and Dan Fouts, who had bad coaches. None of them? Well, it's his defense. Let me wait to get the list of multiple Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, Troy Aikman, Terry Bradshaw, Tom Brady, who had bad defenses. So you're criticizing him because his coach is good and his defense is good. Folks, remember when 21-5 as a starter was good enough? What do you want? In the fourth quarter and overtime this year, regular season in the playoffs, he completes 67% of his throws. His passer rating's 102.4. He's got 6 TDs and a pick. Sorry if he's the cell phone that doesn't wash your clothes. Fantasy football has skewed it. We're demanding and asking people to emotionally help me win money on the side. I've been watching football for 40 years. Here's what I know about Jimmy Garoppolo. In the biggest moments, he's really good, and he wins a lot. I don't care about his stats. He's never going to be a stat guy, which, by the way, John Elway, once he got Mike Shanahan, wasn't a big stat guy. He just won Super Bowls. Kyle Shanahan, like his father's offense, is not built. Andy Reid is, Don Coryell was, Bill Walsh maybe. This offense in San Francisco is not built to win MVP awards for quarterbacks. It's a Parcells offense. It's a Mike Shanahan offense. It's built to win Super Bowls. And if you really want to win Super Bowls, you generally can't have a team that demands your quarterback throws 45 times a game or is a life preserver 16 times a Sunday. Kyle Shanahan asked Jimmy Garoppolo about 3 times a Sunday, make a big boy throw. Here's one of them in the end zone. Spin it. Here's another one late. Drop it in. He doesn't ask Jimmy G to do it 42 times. Lamar Jackson this weekend. Too many plays, too many throws. It's not the way the position's supposed to be played. Brady's always been better with a sufficient running game. Jared Goff with a running game gets to a Super Bowl. Jared Goff without it is third in his division. It is remarkable, though. It used to just be good enough to be 21-5 to get conference championships and be better when it mattered in the fourth quarter and overtime. You want Jameis Winston's picks? Daniel Jones' inconsistency? Josh Allen melting down against Tennessee? I love Jimmy G. I'm all in. He's exactly what I want, and so is my iPhone 6. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.